forever, a couple days, long story short. But on that note, I am single, ladies. Some people, they're not really good for anything else. They're really not good. I mean, you know, and I see this differently. I'm a cook, so I kind of look at it like that. Like, you know, you guys see graveyards, I just see a big old waste of meat. I have actually, though, in my time, worked with people that are definitely fit the definition of wasted meat. But I like that because I can be really cruel to them. Like, I'm a really cruel person naturally, but I try not to, like, just do it to random people. I, like, wait till someone kind of deserves it. I'm not saying that makes me like a good person, it's just more of a constructive use of evil. But I worked with this one guy called Derek, who I just loved to abuse. He just was so much fun because he was just so sycophantic and terrible and, like, so weaselly and nasty and talked about everyone behind their back and was constantly complaining and yet still sucked up to everyone. So it's like, how can you not fucking pick on someone like that? Like, when he first started at this place, I was a senior cook, so he was kind of coming to me for direction or whatever, and he had a crush on this girl who worked during the day. And he actually came to me and he said, Ryan, he's like, I want to ask this girl out, but I just want to check to make sure it was okay with you first. And I said, yeah, man, go for it. In retrospect, I should have tried to get like some kind of a bride price out of it. Like, oh, she's a good cook, I'm going to need at least 7 goats. I'll take a sheep and a cow if you can, but 7 goats is my minimum. But the fun part about this, with this guy, was that he had these fucked up teeth that were always causing him pain. And he had this Orajel that he used to numb it. So, you know, whenever I could, he would leave it lying around all the time, so whenever I could, I'd just throw that shit right in the garbage. Especially if I knew it was already too late for him to go to the drugstore and get more. It's like, long night for Derek. I mean, fuck, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Some people are just so sad it hurts. It hurts just to be around them, not because you're sympathizing, it's just such a experience of a failure of the human experiment, and I don't know, I just can't do it. I mean, it's not the worst pain I've ever been in, but it hurts. But this is the worst pain I've ever been in. This is a good story. So, I'm moving, right? I'm in the process of moving. Me and my girlfriend are moving from a big house we lived in with a bunch of people to a small, coupley, nice little place. Sweet. And I was just kind of firing shit into my bag, and we were walking it down. It was the middle of summer. I didn't have a shirt on because I'm a pretty cool guy, you know what I'm saying? No shirt guy. And as we were walking from one place to the other, I had all the shit from the kitchen in my bag. My balls started to burn like fire. So no. I love hot sauce. I love it. Like, if I had my way, the faucet would be like hot, cold, and Tabasco. And that would be the way it would be universal. But I like to go into the extremes of hot sauce. And in particular, I had this habanero extract, really concentrated stuff. Comes in eyedropper. You have to sign a waiver when you buy it to prove that you understand its danger and its power. I tried to make I tried to make a pot of chili with this shit. I figured it said 2 drops for a pot. I said, well, there's no fucking way they need 2 drops. I'm a man. I'm gonna put as much of this shit as I feel like in this chili. So I put 2 full droppers in, and it wasn't even like hot like it burns your mouth. It's too hot. It was more like my head hurts. I have to go lie down. It wasn't even fun. You know what I mean? Now it turns out the substance is also massively corrosive. And what it had managed to do was corrode the plastic lid at the top of the bottle before I threw it into my duffel bag without the kitchen shit and carrying it with no shirt in the middle of the summer like this against my stomach. Now it takes a while after the hot sauce actually makes contact with your skin for the burning to begin unless it gets to a sensitive place. Now it was summer and I was sweaty and wearing shorts with no shirt. So the sweat sort of carried the hot sauce to a sensitive place. Now understand when this started, I did not know what was happening. All I knew was that my balls hurt really bad. It ended up with me running full tilt to the apartment, literally holding my faucet open to get air on my jaw. And finally when I got to the apartment, all I could do was get an ice pack, put it on my nuts, and then all the muscles on the right side of my body locked and lifted up so my arm, my leg was in the air, and I shit myself. This happens in a lot of my stories, I know. They're not connected, but I do shit myself a lot. That's not intentional, but you know, just these things happen. That's like, hey man, you know, maybe you can like live a poop-free existence and clean or whatever, but you just never live life. That's the problem. Like, you live hard and you shit yourself from time to time. after this, my girlfriend comes in and finds me in the pool of my own shit with like all just white and green and terrible. And she opened up the duffel bag and immediately started puking her guts out just from the fumes of the hot sauce. Then I get in the shower and discover another fun fact. I put on the coldest water I can just to numb it, just to ease the pain. Because the ice pack was on my balls for long enough that I didn't feel them at all. But that's when I realized that the rest of my body was covered in this shit too. And then I could feel that as well. I wasn't even feeling the burning anywhere else when I was feeling the burning in the nuts. When my nuts went numb, then I realized, oh shit, the rest of me hurts a lot as well. So I get in the shower, I'm getting into this cold water, except the temperature of my body has not actually changed, right? So I started to go into shock from the cold, just like shivering. So I'm basically going between shivering and shock from the cold under the water to twitching in pain from the hot sauce. This lasted about 10 hours, and my girlfriend would not take me to the hospital. We were in the middle of a fight when this happened, so this is not good already to begin with. So I'm in a vulnerable point. When I say fight, I mean, you know, she was mad at me because of some stuff that might have happened, which is probably, you know, we don't need to get into it. It might have been my fault or whatever, but there's no point dwelling on that issue. Anyway, the point of that whole thing is she completely refused. And I remember, I've asked her actually, I told her I was going to tell people this story. And I said, you know, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them you wouldn't take me to the hospital. That's going to be the point of this, eventually. And she says to me in all sincerity, what? All they could have done was give you painkillers. I'm like, you never really loved me, did you? Alright, thanks guys.